How's it going out there today, boys and girls? Got my OCF hat on. That's my investigative hat. But as I've always told you guys and gals, this is the home of the common Joe and the common Sally in the know. Even more so than all those media talking heads. And there's a reason why I say that. Because I'm always getting information from the common Joes behind the scenes who are also giving information to these talking heads. And a guy by the name of Neil Jensen, who's a long-time subscriber and loyal listener to the channel, sent me a little something that might be a little interesting for USC and UCLA going here forward in the future when they go into the Big Ten. They may have some issues, big time. They may be blocked from traveling to certain states in the Big Ten because of some silly-ass political rule that they put in place that affects just about everything as far as California travel goes. Let's talk about it. Well, here we are again. Another episode of the OCF. That's the outlaw of college football. And that's me, JPC. And today, class, we got a little law class on the docket. That's right. One of the common Joes passed me along a little note just the other day. Like I said, old Neil Jensen, give me some interesting information here. A law was passed in California a few years back. It's called the AB 1887 law. One Rob Bonta, California Attorney General, was responsible for this law. And this law states that basically they have restricted travel and commerce to 17 other states because they don't agree with what they're doing as far as their laws go. And therein lies the problem with the state of California. Now I'm going to pop up some little graphics here. If you look over here, these are the 17 states that have been banned. If you look down this list up here, if you look down that list, there's 3 interesting states on that list. That being Indiana, Iowa, and Ohio. All 3 of those states are in the Big Ten. And actually, Indiana has 2 of the Big Ten members. Ohio State and Iowa 1 apiece. So that's 4 teams that USC and UCLA supposedly are not going to be able to travel to. Now, I have a feeling that maybe this silly-ass law will go away. Because what this law basically states and what caused this law is, I'm not going to get into the long version of this law because mostly it's about stuff that these other states are not really doing. What it boils down to is these states passed a law that transgender people have to go to the bathroom with the gender that they were born with. You know, the biological gender that you were born with. If you were born with a vagina, then you go to the bathrooms where the vaginas go. If you was born with a penis, you go to the bathrooms where the penises go. This has nothing to do with anybody being bigoted. It has nothing to do with anybody being prejudiced towards transgender people. We don't care if you're transgender. That's your business. Just like if you're homosexual or straight, that's your business. That's your sex life. That's your private life. It has nothing to do with our sports. Or you going into the restroom and pulling out your manhood in front of a 5-year-old girl in a bathroom because you suddenly decided that your penis is a vagina. That stuff really pisses me off because First of all, if California wants to allow transgender people to go in to a bathroom that they're not really supposed to be in, that's their business. Okay? That's the California state law. They can do whatever they want. But to come out and say, hey, North Carolina, who's way on the west side of the United States, and the rest of the world, you'd be considered a world away. Yeah. States like Ohio, Indiana, Iowa, Alabama, Florida. Suddenly California gets to dictate to us who can and can't travel back and forth and do commerce because they don't agree with the law that was made in your state, not in their state. We're not forcing our laws and our beliefs on you, California. And that's what the problem is right now. I'm an independent. So before you come running in here and trying to stereotype me and basically be racist against me because of my white skin color and call me a Trumpster, I'm not. I'm an independent. I used to be a Democrat a long time ago before I learned that this Democrat Party has been hijacked by a bunch of extremist liberals that believe in all sorts of crazy stuff that a normal human being would never believe in. The Democrats can still save this thing for themselves if they just get rid of the liberals and their party and quit letting them hijack their platform. But this bill basically states that teams like universities like the University of Southern California and UCLA, the Skittle Shitters and the La La boys from Pasadena can't travel to these states right now as the law stands in California. So I have a feeling that because of the money that's involved here, that suddenly these spastics that passed this law into being to try to dictate and make laws for other states, that just galls me that California, you can have your laws. It's like I said, you can have your laws, man. But you can't dictate to other states what they can and can't do. Jesus Christ, man. Your liberalism that you're allowing into this, you're allowing it into the sports. And like I said, I'm an independent. But the Democrats are making this easy for the Republicans. Y'all are making it easy for them to overtake you by doing the stuff that you're doing right now. But like I said, we're going to see how staunch they really are about their little liberal beliefs. Because with that kind of money talking, I have a feeling that they're going to find a loophole around that, and they're going to decide suddenly that those laws don't matter anymore because they'll come up with some conjured up backwards moral thought in their mind of why they're doing away with the law, when in reality what it is you're going to have a lot of rich boosters and donors and people in that state that really love college football and sports that are going to come out and say, hey, look, man, there's too much money here to lose. We got to do away with that law. And that's what's going to happen. And I'm going to enjoy seeing it happen because I enjoy seeing their hypocrisy on full display. But if they don't do away with the law, if for some reason they conjure up the gonads to keep that law in place, which would be the worst gonads ever, if they do that, guess who's not going to the Big Ten? USC and UCLA won't be in the Big Ten because I can guarantee you Ohio State, Indiana, Purdue, and Iowa are not going to give USC unlimited home games. Because that's what would have to happen. Since they can't travel to these states and do commerce and business. It looks like the liberals and the Skittle Shitters have gotten USC and UCLA in somewhat of a pickle here. So, yeah. And that's all I got to say about that. Like, share, comment, and the big four. Subscribe to this channel. And as always, KMCA to all the other teams. Class is now dismissed.